Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm making a video on Marvel Contest of Champions, and I'm going to start making some more videos of this game. I've done them on and off, and there's just so many incredible YouTubers for Marvel Contest of Champions, and they're amazing. They put out really great content, really great videos, and I've been playing this game since its inception. Game is going on, I think, 5 years ish or so. And, we've gone back and forth with the developer, which is Kabam. And, I now that I've been playing multiple mobile games, I will say that this developer isn't perfect, but they listen to their community. They really do listen to their community, and the underlying content comes from Marvel Comics, and Marvel Comics listens to their fan base in this game, has affected change in this game, which is why I always go back to it. But the reason I'm going back to it now is they are getting ready to release Realm of Champions in 2020, which is going to be somehow associated with Marvel Contest of Champions. And so I just started a new account because there are a lot of people going through certain things that my other accounts are just, they're so far beyond, and I have forgotten so much stuff about that. So I want to go over to some basic gameplay and talk about the synergies, especially the masteries, but the gameplay before you have a basic setup of masteries is huge. And how do you upgrade champions? That is the biggest thing that people are struggling with. So I brought a lot of people into this game, and a lot of them got so frustrated because they couldn't figure out on how to upgrade champions. And it's definitely a step-by-step process. So I'm going to show you guys a couple of things, and I'm definitely going to be making some videos. The first thing I want to show you is masteries. So masteries are a set of skills that you can upgrade that affect all of your champions across the board. And they really change gameplay for the individual player. They will change literally how the game is played. But to show you what I mean, I'm just going to go into a battle here. I'm currently on Act 1, progressing through that. I only have 3 champion slots, because as you can see on the left-hand side, I need to get to level 12 and level 25 to unlock those other slots to bring more champions into each act that I play. So I'm going to fight Captain Marvel here, and I'm going to use Scarlet Witch, because Scarlet Witch is a mystic, as I can tell by this little icon right here. It's also giving me an up arrow, which means she has a type advantage against Cosmic, which is what Captain Marvel is. And you're going to see the overall power rating. This is going to be their health stat, the attack stat, and she's getting a boost because she has a type advantage, where Captain Marvel is actually losing an attack boost because she has a disadvantage. You can see their ranks and their levels. Also, their character tags. These come into play in different parts of the game, because you're going to need certain moments in the game where you're going to need an Avenger, or you're going to need an X-Man, or you're going to need a hero, or you're going to need a villain. So you definitely want to pay attention to those tags as well. And then those are their current abilities. Since Scarlet Witch is not awakened, which means I haven't duped her. So if I pull another 2-star Scarlet Witch, I can awaken her special abilities, and I can go into that more. On this account, I haven't awakened anyone, so that's rare. But so I'm gonna go into this gameplay and just kind of show you how this is going to work without any masteries, and it sucks. You really have to time the intercepts and the attacks on the opposing champion. Usually, without a parry, you can... So you see her, she's trying to do a heavy attack, which is why I backed away from that. Once I have masteries that are set up, especially the parry mastery and the dexterity mastery, things get a lot more easier. But without those, I can't really function as I normally would on a higher leveled up account. And let's see here. So now I'm going against Gamora. She's a cosmic, so I'm going to use Scarlet Witch again. And usually I can time an intercept on their second hit. Oh man, I walked right into that. All right, so I'm gaining experience. I'm gaining ISO 8, which is what you're going to use to upgrade your champions to the next level, along with gold, because gold is an incredibly rare resource in this game, and you run through it like crazy. So now I'm on the boss, and this time I'm going to use Gamora, because Gamora is a cosmic, and she has a type advantage over tech champions. And this Iron Man should be pretty easy to beat. I always like to back away and rush at him. That's Iron Man's heavy. Back away and rush into them. Usually they don't block, so I always just rush into them and start attacking. All right, so 115 is done. And these credits right here, those are incredibly rare, especially if you're free to play. So you don't want to use your credits to buy any kind of crystals or anything in the beginning. You want to really dedicate your credits to your masteries, because it's going to take a lot of credits to really set up a good mastery setup over time. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and upgrade a champion. So right here, there's a little up arrow right here on Scarlet Witch, and that tells me I can tier her up to the next level. However, I don't have enough gold to do that, so I'm not going to do that right now. I'm going to switch over to Gamora and max her out here. So I have the Enable Smart Select option clicked right there. So it's going to click the perfect amount of ISO, which is what this stuff is. And it's going to level her up to her max level. So all her stats went up because I leveled her up. I can tier her up so that I can start leveling her up again. But like Scarlet Witch, I don't have enough gold. So I always like to have, especially at my level, have 3 champions of different stats. And I chose Gamora and I chose Scarlet Witch for 2 specific reasons. Is they both have great abilities when they're unawakened. And if we take a look, you'll see what I mean. So Scarlet Witch's special 1 has an attack. This attack receives 1955.56 additional critical rating, which means she can do anywhere between 0 and 20,000 damage on a special 2. And as you can see in the red bar, the Veil of Fortune, that's locked because that's her duped ability. I don't have that yet. And I've chosen Gamora. Gamora was recently fixed, I should say. And she now has a 30% chance for a Fury buff and a 30% chance for a Cruelty buff on light and medium attacks. And she can refresh those by doing a heavy attack. The heavy attack refreshes the duration of personal Cruelty and Fury buffs, which makes her really great. So let's see here. So I'm going to go back into 1-1 and go to the last one here. I'm not really going to do too much with Iron Man just because I know he's not a very good champion as he currently is. There's a lot of rumor about them buffing him up, but we haven't seen that yet. So I'm not going to mess around with him too much. And for the 1-stars, I'm not going to mess around with the 1-stars yet. It just doesn't make any sense. See, I refreshed the bar. And I just did a special one on Storm so that the bleed would take her out. All right, and I'm going to be running out of energy here very soon. And I always like to look at the paths to kind of see what I need. So these 1-star boxes, those are usually ISO or maybe a potion. They range from 1, 2, 3, I think even 4-star on later acts here. And that way you kind of know by running through the path if you're going to get some ISO. So I'm just going to run along this longer path here. And so just know your initial gameplay, it is going to be very much like Street Fighter. You're not really going to see the extent of the strategy that's involved in this game until you start to awaken your champions, until you start to have advanced masteries that are getting set up. Then you're going to see a huge game difference. The nice thing I like about Marvel Contest of Champions is every single character, every champion does something different. And I don't know how they did it, but they have made every champion different. Now, there are some champions that, of course, do something, similar or very close to similar, but for the most part, every champion does something differently. With that being said, not every champion is created equally. There are a lot of bad champions in this game, but probably about a year or two ago, Kabam really came through on creating a lot of champions that you didn't really need to duplicate to make them a great champion. They came, straight out the crystal, and they were an amazing champion. And so, a lot of these champions, these are all the older champions. They are definitely not that great until they are awakened. But I want to talk a little bit about the mastery setup here. And show you so I have 2 points in my masteries. And I'm holding off on using them because all the initial masteries are garbage. Anything that's free, or mostly anything that's free, is garbage. The very first masteries you should choose would be this one and this one. So this is going to be the parry mastery, and it allows you to block and stun the opponent. And that's where some of the strategy comes into play. And then the dexterity allows you to evade their special attacks and their normal attacks. And I'll definitely get into more of that once I get to, that level 9, and kind of show you how that works. Also, just one thing I do want to show. Actually, I can't show it here, but there are the daily quests that you can go into, and you can get those different kinds of tearing up materials, those catalysts. They're going to be basic and they're going to be class specific. Every day is a different class type, so you definitely kind of want to manage that on a daily basis. So this is just a very intro level, very beginner on kind of how the game works. There is so much content in this game once you establish a roster, and as long as you're investing in your champions, you shouldn't be held behind by the content. But I will definitely take it step by step, and definitely stay tuned to the next video. Thanks, guys.